Hi everybody, this is Mazin from Beit Sahur in Palestine. Next to me is
Zohar, Regev, originally from Israel.
And we are here working away at the museum and the Institute for Biodiversity and Sustainability, and I congratulate you on hosting events and asking us, and thank you for asking us to speak. Basically, in terms of what's going on here in Palestine, we're getting about 300 or so Palestinian cases of COVID-19 every day, and about 1,000 Israeli cases every day. So the situation is like elsewhere. Today is also sad news from Lebanon, with a huge explosion that killed over 100 people, including a friend of mine, a member of the Rotary Club in Lebanon that I knew and I met in Lebanon, and thousands were injured. So we keep up with the news around us, the situation around us. As you know, also a situation with the Israeli occupation and colonization of our land has been ongoing and has not stopped. And even in the past 24 hours, 2 people had to demolish their own homes because Israel says they have to, or if they will demolish them, then they will charge them even thousands more shekels so that they can claim the cost of demolition. So anyways, situation is pretty bad locally in terms of what's going on. The politics still the same. Netanyahu is in power and he seems to be getting away with his corruption. There's lots of demonstrations in Israel that are happening, and Zohar, maybe you can talk about what's going on in the demonstrations and all that.
Well, from what I hear, there are demonstrations all over Israel, but specifically they focus on the residence of the Prime Minister in Jerusalem, in Balfour Street. And it's interesting to see that people who don't usually demonstrate in Israel go out because they suddenly feel that this repression that has been ongoing for the Palestinians is finally catching up with them. Finally, they see that all this mechanism of control, the police, the military, can be turned against them as well. I don't know how many of them are waking up to this reality. I don't know how many of them connect the dots. But there are demonstrations. They're not happy with their prime minister because of corruption. And maybe they will eventually also try to do something about the underlying issues.
Yeah, and then the other thing with the COVID-19 adding to the economic misery of people, on both sides of the green line, I would say, there are a lot of Palestinians inside Israel who are now basically falling below the poverty line. As you know, also our economy in the West Bank is dependent on tourism, which hasn't been happening actually since late February, early March. So the economy is pretty much shut down. The situation globally is pretty bad, and we expect it will continue like this for months to come. The politics of the situation here in Palestine is still the same. Unfortunately, our leadership is not really being proactive or even thinking about being proactive. They're just reactive to whatever happens or whatever is dumped on them. And we have people who are speaking out, who are demonstrating, who are trying to do some things here. But it is a small number of people. People are very frustrated, and we really need to get the dynamics of the situation changed dramatically, in my humble opinion, over the next few months if we are going to make a dent in our future as people.
Yeah, I think you were asking also about the annexation, and I think we can say that annexation has been ongoing for 100 years, if you want to say, but definitely ever since Israel occupied these territories by force. And the only difference is this announcement that seemed to have raised some sort of outrage around the world is just, a way to divert attention from the situation on the ground. De facto, it's already annexed. Israel controls every movement of the Palestinian people.
Okay, well, thank you very much, and good luck on your rest of your conference. Thanks for having us. Take care.
Thank you.